Scarcity. In life, you don't have all the money you wish you could have to purchase all the things you wish you could get. So when you're torn between two very good phones like the Huawei Nova 5T and the Huawei Nova 7i, and you have like limited funds and you can only buy one, this video is here to help you make an informed decision. We are going to look at factors like the display, the design, the battery performance, charging speeds, storage, memory, performance of the processors, and the major point, which is the presence or absence of Google Play Store. Coming up next.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.
Hi guys, welcome to another edition of Cyber Reviews. Now, Huawei is the second largest smartphone maker in the world, and of late they have been making some really good top-end flagship phones, as well as some lower-end mid-range phones. And two of such phones are the Huawei Nova 5T and the Huawei Nova 7i. Now, the Huawei Nova 7i in other jurisdictions is called the Huawei Nova 6 SE or the Huawei P40 Lite. Links to all the phones I'm going to be talking about will be in the description below, so do check them out for the best prices you can get them on Amazon. Now you're going to hear me say Huawei Nova 7i and Huawei P40 Lite, but don't get confused. They are the same phones, just called by different names in different jurisdictions. And I have a video on my channel where I reviewed extensively the Huawei Nova 7i. So click on the link in the description below to watch that. And then I also have about 5 videos on the Huawei Nova 5T. In fact, I have more than 5 videos on the Huawei Nova 5T. So if you want like more detailed breakdowns, you can watch those videos to help you make a more informed decision. Now, if you're new to my channel, I do mobile phone reviews, mobile app reviews, and I bring to you affordable gadgets reviews to help you make an informed decision whenever you're making a purchase. So if you like that kind of content, please click on the subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you do not miss any episode. So to kick off this comparison, we are going to look at the prices of both phones. In most jurisdictions, the two phones sell for the same price, which makes it very difficult for consumers to decide which one to go for. In Ghana though, the Huawei Nova 7i is cheaper, slightly cheaper than the Huawei Nova 5T. But if you're in another country where the two phones are almost similarly priced or the same price, well, this video is all that you need to help you decide which one to go for. Because many times when people ask me which one is better, is it the Huawei Nova 5T or the Huawei Nova 7i, I say what matters most to you? Is it like battery? Is it like faster charger? Is it like the display? Is it the design? Is it camera performance? Is it processor? We are going to break all that down so that you will know at the end which one is right for you. Are you ready? Let's go. First of all, let's talk about the display. Now, the Huawei Nova 5T has a smaller 6.26 inches display, whilst the Huawei Nova 7i has a larger 6.4 inches display. Now, although the display of the Nova 7i is bigger than the display of the Huawei Nova 5T, you find that the Huawei Nova 5T has a better resolution. Both of them are maxed out at 1080p, but then the Huawei Nova 5T has more pixels per inch, and so it's more crisper, the image is more crisper. But then on the front of it, like if you are consuming content, you're watching videos or playing games and stuff like that, you can hardly tell which one is which unless you turn over the phone. Still on the subject of the display, both phones come with an IPS LCD display and they max out at 1080p. But then when you take a closer look, you'll notice that the Huawei Nova 5T has like slimmer bezels than that of the Huawei Nova 7i. Though the Huawei Nova 7i has a 6.4 inches display, which means it is slightly bigger than the display of the Huawei Nova 5T, which is a 6.26 inches display. So on the front, they look very similar. They all have like this hole punch camera cutout at the top left corner. So if you are watching like a video and the two phones are there, it's going to be very difficult for you to know which one is the Nova 5T and which one is the Nova 7i. But when you turn them over, you can clearly see the difference. And so talking about the difference in the design, let's move to the design. The Huawei Nova 7i looks more like an iPhone 11 Pro Max, considering the camera cutout at the back of the phone, whilst the Huawei Nova 5T looks like a phone from 2019 with the arrangement of the camera array. It's arranged like vertically, no special design like what we have in 2020. But then if you know me, you know I'm a sucker for the design of the Huawei Nova 5T because it has glass in front, glass at the back, and depending on the angle that you turn it, you'd be able to see like this gradient design moving all over the glass and stuff like that. The body of the Huawei Nova 7i is made up of plastic at the back and then glass in front, and then it has like a plastic frame. Okay, so it's also good because when it drops, you are not going to be concerned too much about like having a broken glass back. Now let's talk about memory and storage options. When it comes to memory, the Huawei Nova 5T has two different phone variants. So you can get a phone in either 6 gigs or 8 gigs of RAM, whilst the Huawei Nova 7i only comes in 8 gigs of RAM. Now when it comes to storage, the Huawei Nova 7i has an edge over the Huawei Nova 5T because the Nova 7i comes with expandable storage. So you can add up to 256 gigs of storage. But on the baseline, both phones come with 128 gigs of internal storage. And I think that should be cool enough for whatever needs you have for content, media, productivity, and all that. Now, another area where the Huawei Nova 7i outperforms the Huawei Nova 5T is when it comes to battery and charging. The Huawei Nova 7i comes with 4,200 milliamperes of battery capacity and a 40 watts fast charging adapter, which can charge your battery like from 0 to 70% in 30 minutes. The Huawei Nova 5T, on the other hand, comes with a 3,750 milliampere battery capacity, so definitely it's smaller than that of the Nova 7i. And then it also comes with a smaller 22.5 watts fast charging adapter, which can charge your phone from 0 to 50% in 30 minutes. So when it comes to battery and charging speed, the Huawei Nova 7i takes it hands down. Both phones come with a fingerprint sensor embedded in the power button, which is a really unique implementation. And like I always say, this to me, in all the times I've tested both phones, the fingerprint sensor is like the fastest I've ever used in any device in the world. And apart from the fact that they are fast, they are also pretty accurate. I've used certain phones in the past where you need to keep your hand on the fingerprint sensor or press it several times to unlock. But this one, the moment you touch it, it unlocks, and it's really, really fast. And talking about speed, now let's talk about the processors in both devices. When it comes to processor, the Huawei Nova 5T leaves the Huawei Nova 7i far behind because the Huawei Nova 5T comes with a Kirin 980 chipset, which is the same processor in the Huawei P30 Pro of last year. Okay, and that processor is very fast, like it's so powerful, it can compete with phones like the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, okay, and even beat it. So for a mid-range phone which has like that kind of processor, it's super impressive. The Huawei Nova 7i, on the other hand, comes with a less powerful processor, which is the Kirin 810 chipset, and it's pretty okay. Like you can play your games and do your multitasking easily, but then when you compare like performance, raw performance, you notice that the Huawei Nova 5T is way faster than the Huawei Nova 7i, and I think both are really good considering the price of the phones. You can get them around $376, at most $400 for the 8 gig RAM variants, depending on the country you are in. Alright, so let's talk about the cameras on both devices. Both devices have like 5 cameras, 4 at the back, 1 in front, and the ones in front are almost the same, okay? So let's talk about the ones at the back because that's where you notice the major difference. It's interesting because the Huawei Nova 5T, though was released last year or a year older than the Huawei Nova 7i, comes with better camera options at the back. So it has a 48 megapixel main shooter and a 16 megapixel ultra wide camera. There are 2 other cameras, but I don't use them, so I don't want to talk about them. But if you want to know them, we have a 2 megapixel macro camera and then a 2 megapixel depth sensing camera. You get those same 2 megapixels on the Nova 7i, but on the Nova 7i, you get an 8 megapixel ultra wide and then a 48 megapixel main camera. In my time of using it, I noticed that the Huawei Nova 7i camera is not so potent or so powerful. So for example, when you're recording video, you can record at most 1080p at 30 frames per second, whilst on the Huawei Nova 5T, you can record 4K at 30 frames per second. You can record 1080p at 60 frames and then at 30 frames per second. So you get more recording options on the Huawei Nova 5T than you get on the Huawei Nova 7i. I also noticed that pictures from the Huawei Nova 7i are like less detailed than that of the Huawei Nova 5T, especially when it comes to the ultra wide camera, even at night. But when you flip the camera and then you come to the selfie, the pictures or the selfies that you take from the Huawei Nova 7i tend to be brighter, especially at night and in darkly lit conditions. It has this brightening effect. So that one, it wins hands down. The Nova 5T selfie images are more darker, and then also the Huawei Nova 7i images look more like iPhone 11 images on the front. Like they are really detailed, really sharp, really clear. And so that's a plus for the Huawei Nova 7i. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room: Google Play services or the lack thereof. So let's talk about the operating systems on these devices. With the Huawei Nova 5T, you get Android 9 out of the box, but then you can upgrade to Android 10. The Huawei Nova 7i comes with Android 10 straight out of the box, but it is one of the phones which is affected by the US ban on Huawei devices. So what that means is you're not going to get a Google Play Store, you're not going to get Gmail, you're not going to get YouTube and your favorite Google apps, but you're going to get a Huawei app gallery, which is like Huawei's app store, and it has a lot of apps, and the apps keep increasing daily because they keep reaching out to developers to put their apps on the Huawei app store. I've been in a meeting because of like the corporate work I do, where we were with Huawei executives and they were convincing or trying to convince our corporate organization to put our app on the Huawei app store. So I see that there's a lot of effort to increase the number of apps, and if you are a tech savvy person, you can sideload apps to your phone or use the phone clone app, and then you'll be able to get your old apps on your other Android devices. But if you don't want to go through that stress, just buy a Huawei Nova 5T, because even in 2020, right now, as at the time of making this video, it's still one of the best mid-range phones money can buy. So question of the day: which of these two phones gives you better value for money? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks, Bibri.